The first use of the name Morecambe was in 1771, where the bay is described as the Bay of Morecambe. The name is derived from the Roman times. The next time the name crops up is as early as March 1862, before the town took the name officially. It was not until 1889 that the necessary legislation was passed to officially name the area as Morecambe. In 1894, the Urban District Council was formed. In 1974, Morecambe and Lancaster again took charge. Happy Mount Park was created in the 1920s as a traditional urban park area. Today, attractions cater for a more modern taste and carefully retaining the atmosphere of peace and tranquility of a traditional park. Many activities go on in the park today. We have swing boats, trampolines, bowling green, putting green, playland, miniature railway, natural adventure play area with climbing frame, cable ride, sand area for the children making sand castles, splash park, water-based area with sprays, cannons, etc. Pirates in the park, indoor multi-sports for tennis, football, basketball and other sports. Events also take place, including brass band concerts on a Sunday afternoon. This is open 7 days a week, opening times 8:30 AM. This is a great day for all ages of the family, and it's free. There is a traditional Japanese garden with pond. There is woodland walks and areas for picnics, and many things to keep the children occupied. A stroll through the park gives you every opportunity to enjoy it. In 1846, the Morecambe Harbour and Railway was formed. To build a harbour on MovieMorecambe close to the village of Portland-le-Sands. By 1850, the railway linked to Skipton, Keighley and Bradford in West Riding of Yorkshire, and a settlement began to grow around the harbour and railway. Morecambe was a thriving seaside resort in the mid-20s. Due to railway connections, the visitors from Yorkshire came to Morecambe. Between 1956 and 1989, it was the home of the Miss Great Britain Beauty Competition contest. Morecambe's main central shopping area stretches from Central Drive Retail Park to Arndale Shopping Centre. This includes the Festival Market and the Sunday Market. The Yorkshire playwright Alan Bennett has enjoyed a long association with Morecambe and had written Sunset Across the Bay and Last of the Sun with Thora Hird. One of Morecambe's most famous landmarks is a statue commemorating one of its most famous sons, Eric Morecambe, created by sculptor Graham Ibsen. One of Morecambe's landmark buildings is the partially renovated Victoria Pavilion, or Morecambe Winter Gardens. This was once a venue for swimming baths, a grand theatre, a restaurant and a ballroom. Morecambe once boasted 2 fairgrounds, a small one to the north of the railway station, which closed down in the 1980s, and a larger one to the south of the station, which ultimately became Frontierland and closed in 1999. The only remaining landmark left on the site is the Polo Tower, left standing only because of the contract for the phone mast on top. The future of the remaining land remains uncertain. In July 2008, the local council ordered a clean-up of the Polo Tower, and scaffolding was erected around the structure to carry out a survey. Near the promenade is the Morecambe and Ayrsham War Memorial, which commemorates the men of Morecambe who lost their lives in the 2 World Wars and the Korean War. The memorial is a little different, as it lists the First World War as 1914 to 1919, whereas many memorials list the dates as 1914 to 1918. Ayrsham is a large coastal village near Lancaster in the county of Lancashire, England, overlooking Morecambe Bay. It is a ferry port with services to the Isle of Man and Ireland. Ayrsham is the site of 2 nuclear power stations, which are landmarks visible from the hills in the surrounding area of Ayrsham. Ayrsham has been identified as one potential location for the next generation of nuclear power stations. Aysham's 17th century cottages and its colourful floral displays have twice won it in Britain in blue. Of historical interest are the stone graves in the ruins of the ancient St. Patrick's Chapel, close to St. Peter's Church. They are thought to date from the 11th century and are hewn from solid rock. Local legend has it that St. Patrick landed here after crossing from Ireland and established the chapel. However, it has been established that the chapel was built around 300 years after Patrick's death. These stone graves appear on the cover of the Black Sabbath CD, The Best of Black Sabbath. The grounds of St. Patrick's Church contain many Saxon and Viking remains, and the church itself contains a Viking hogback stone. The purpose of these strange stone sculptures is the subject of much debate. They are found mainly in the north of England and also in Scotland. It is thought that there were settlers here before and during Roman times. There is no evidence of Roman occupation. There might have been Druids, but again, there is no evidence to support this. The question is, why would a chapel be built on the headlands if there was no one here? The original building, of which the foundations lie under the present ruin, was probably built in the 6th century. Morecambe was the birthplace of the artist William Woodhouse, 1857 to 1939, who lived all his life in the town, and is buried with his wife and daughter at St. Peter's Church in the village of Ayrsham, a little to the south of Morecambe. Morecambe Bay has some of the most varied fishing in all of Britain, and is perhaps most famous for Morecambe Bay potted shrimps, which are by appointment to Her Majesty the Queen. Morecambe's manufacturing and industrial businesses are largely located in the White Lund Industrial Estate. Morecambe is primarily a seaside resort with a large proportion of the local economy based on tourism, hospitality and catering. Located along the seafront, it is also situated at the foot of the Lake District National Park.